Icefire Magician here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile of my Burning Abyss that I took to the Seattle Regional this past weekend on March 31st. I did okay. My main deck did pretty well. Did a great job against Pendulum Magicians, but unfortunately my side deck did need a little bit extra. I kind of spaced and completely didn't realize how well True Dracos did at the recent YCS in Salt Lake City, and I didn't side well enough in preparation, so I didn't do too well in that matchup. But in my other matchups, I still did really well in this deck. Though underrated and anti-meta, the control mechanisms are really good with your side deck, and also the fact that you main 3 anti-spell. So with that out of the way, let's get right into the main deck. So we got 3 Fiendish Rhino Warrior, which is pretty much the best card in the deck. It's a walking Foolish Burial. Really good and starts off all your plays. And we'll go into a combo later on with Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Then we got 3 Skarm, your Searcher of the deck. Always remember to grab that Fiend at the end phase. Cost me a couple games actually because of that. Then we get 3 Farfa. It's your remover of the deck. Really good. Gets rid of a card to the or a monster until the end phase. Really good for pushing for game if you need to get rid of something and then attack for game. Then we got the one-us. We got the 1 Alec, 1 Barbar, 1 Calcab, 1 Seer, 1 Graph, 1 Libic, and 1 Rubik. These are pretty self-explanatory. You would play more of these guys, but you can't. And then the other guys are very, situational. So that's why you play one of them. Then you play the 1 Tour Guide. It's just an easy target if you know your opponent doesn't have any hand traps, or you have like a Call to the Grave, I think the name is, or Call from the Grave in your hand. You can just play this and they Veil, or you know you're good, or Ash Blossom, you know you're good. And it just starts off at free XYZ. Then you got the 1 Fairy Tale Snow. Fairy Tale Snow is really good because, especially if you have, if you've milled a lot from Dante and Orbital Hydrolander, it can be really good late game, and also it's just in general a really good card. Then I said 2 Orbital Hydrolander. I pretty much played this over BLS. If you have 5, for those who do not know, if you have 5 or more monsters in your name with in your grave with different names, and you can't have any duplicates in your grave, you can special summon this guy. He's 3k beat stick with 1500 defense, which isn't too good defense wise, but he's just like super strong on board, and you can actually mill 3. And if you don't have any duplicates by the end when you mill, you can actually just pop a card on your opponent's side of the field. So it's really good, hoping that you don't mill because you can't resolve it. The destruction effect if you mill a card that or a monster you already have in grave. And then we have triple Ghost Ogre, pretty good. It's just a really good hand trap right now. And then triple Veiler. Veiler also really good. Stops Alistar. Stops the Pendulum guy. I'm spacing on his name. The Metal Foe, Heavy Metal Foe's Electromite. Really good against those 2 guys, which are both are fairly meta cards. And then going into spells, we play Triple Twin Twister. Just really good against the Pendulum Magician matchup. In general, you can plus off of your BA's effects by sending them to grave from the discard. And then you play 2 Desires. I was testing 3, but it just destroys your deck if you run into 2. So you Desire, hoping you get rid of the other one. In most of the cases, I did get rid of the other one, so it was pretty good. Then the one-us, you play the 1 Dark Hole, 1 Soul Charge, and 1 Foolish Burial. These are all pretty self-explanatory. I decided to play Dark Hole over Raigeki because you can actually plus off of the effects. If you have like a BA on board and then you destroy their board and one of your guys, you can actually get the effect like a Skarm in defense, and then just Dark Hole kills you, get that search at the end phase, and then also kills your opponent. And Soul Charge is also really clutch as well. Just like late game, you can pull out some XYZ monsters. And then you play triple Anti-Spell, probably the best card in the deck. Opening this is like the nuts. It's super good, and it stops like almost every deck. I played against a guy, not in the recent regional, but some dude at locals, and I flipped Anti-Spell. He popped it, and then I flipped Ceasefire against his Pendulum Magician deck, and he instantly just like scooped. I felt bad for the dude, but yeah, it's just the nuts. It's really good. And then we play 2 Dynamiscus. Dynamiscus, similar to Twin Twisters, you discard a card and then banish. You discard a card, so it's good, it has synergy with the deck, and then you banish 1 face-up card on the field, so you can actually target spells and traps that are face-up, not even just monsters, so it's really, really good. And also, it can stop Paleozoics, which can be a rogue matchup that a lot of people, not a lot of people, but a handful of people are playing. If they try to chain a trap, you can actually chain this to that, and it actually stops them because, from what I've heard, or what someone told me, is that you chaining this in response actually stops, because their Paleozoic trap has to be in response to a trap, and then you chaining this in response stops it or something like that. But I messed up a game. I lost a game to this Paleozoic player at the regionals because I completely forgot about that, and he told me after the set. But yeah, it's really good against the Paleozoic matchup, and it can save you if you just like, if they try to activate it and then you do this in response. And then we play the Imperial Order, which is like really good again. You play like 8 spell cards. It's doesn't really hinder you that much, and you can always pop it with you can always get rid of it with like a Dynamiscus if you really don't need it. Okay, and then into the extra deck, we play triple Dante, of course, like best card in the deck, or best XYZ in the deck. Really, really good. I was debating whether or not I wanted 3. I never went into the third. 2 is like enough, but there are cases where like I had 2 engraved and I could have, if I needed to, gone for a third Dante. Then we play the one-ofs. We play the 1 Break Sword, 1 Engineer, 1 Nightmare Shark, 1 Grand Pulse, 1 DDD Stone King. Really good. Got over cards that were like had way more attack than I had, and he just like, I took the damage and then destroyed them, did the 500 burn, and it's just really good in general. And then the 1 Downward Magician, if you bring back a Dante, and you can go into Downward main phase 2. Oh, and then the Beatrice, which is of course amazing. Bringing this to 2, the deck would be a lot better. Then we play the 2 Underclock Taker and 1 Decode Talker. I was thinking about changing one of these for a Mikhail, which you can soul charge into a Ogre and a Fairy Tale Snow, and then go for a Mikhail. But overall, it's super situational, and it only came up once where I needed that. But in general, Underclock is really good because you can, pull an Underclock Taker, get a Dante, and then you can actually like minus your opponent's defense and attack, and then swing over with Underclock and then do 25, or Beatrice even do like 25. So it's really good. And then Decode Talker, if you have the capability, it's good just to bring out 2 more spots for your XYZ plays. And then you play the 1 Virgil and 1 Pilgrim, just self-explanatory. Then for the side deck, this is where I'd edit stuff, make my big changes. 3 Vanity's Fiend. Vanity's Fiend did work, put in work. You just sit on this and a Imperial Order or a anti-spell, and you're pretty much set. I won games pretty much just because I had this guy on the field, and the dude wasn't able to out it. Chaos Hunter, biggest regret playing this. Whenever I would drop it, because Incarnation isn't that big of a deal. It's not the only win condition for Trickstars, so this is something I would definitely change out for the Kaiju engine, which is something I completely spaced because I didn't realize True Draco was going to be that much of a threat. Like I said, not realizing that True Draco tops Salt Lake City, so definitely going to be taking this out next time for the Kaijus. And then I played 3 Lancia. Lancia's pretty good too, because Lancia is not... It can also help with other decks, for example, like Invoked. It can stop their plays. And you also don't have to minus like 2, because with Chaos Hunter, you're actually getting rid of one of you guys, which can be a plus, but then you're not really going to generate hand advantage. So not only are you putting this guy on the field -1 and then discarding a card -2, if it's not a Skarm, then you're not really plussing. So you lose so much hand advantage by doing that. So I'd rather have this guy to stop for 1 turn rather than more turns. Then you play Triple Mistake, Gross Gold Rare. I got 3 Gold Rare in the mail, but they never came, unfortunately, so I had to buy these last minute. But Mistake is really clutch as well. Sitting on this against Trickstar, way better than Chaos Hunter. And it's also more versatile because it can hit like tons and tons of decks. And Skarm is like the only dude you search from your deck. So Skarm isn't even that important. So I definitely recommend playing 3 Mistake. 3 Mistake is amazing. May even main deck this, honestly. It's that good. And then we play 2 Typhoon. Typhoon is just good against Pendulums. It's just a great way to out cards. You can play it from hand if your opponent has like 2 cards. In general, it's just a good out to Floodgates or things that are trying to stop you, or like I said, Pendulums. And then the 1 Skill Drain. This is probably what I never played this, I'll be honest. So I'd probably change this out for the Kaijus. Kaiju engine, probably like 1 of each, to like Gameciel, Kumongus, one of the bigger guys, and then a Slumber. That's probably what I would switch for. Then I'll go for the combo real quick for the Underclock combo into Beatrice. So you pretty much, it's a 2-card combo, and it gets you a Beatrice and a Underclock. And so if they can't stop at turn 2, it's really, really good. In general, you can go for it turn 1, but I recommend turn 2 simply because turn 2 you can actually run over literally almost anything they have, because you can just, I'll show you why. So what you do is you normal summon Fiendish Rhino Warrior, reveal from your hand, special summon whatever BA. So it's a 2-card combo, any other BA and a Fiendish Rhino Warrior. And so you Fiendish Rhino Warrior, normal summon, special from hand, overlay for Dante, detach Fiendish Rhino Warrior, mill 3, and then hope you don't mill the key cards, and then send to grave Graph. Graph allows you to special summon Seer, and then you link 2 for a Underclock Taker, Chainlink 2, Chainlink 1, Seer special summons Dante, and Dante adds back, you know, any of these guys. You can't use their effects again, so just for example, add that Scarm back to hand. And then you simply pitch that Scarm for a Beatrice, and you use the effect -25, -28 defense, and then you can swing over almost always with Underclock, and then 25 direct, and you have a material next turn to detach, stop, whatever, and then grab your Seer back from your grave to bring back this Dante next turn. So yeah, that's the combo. It's really good turn 2. Normally, bringing it out turn 1, it's okay because you'll have a presence, but if you can, it's better just to have like a Beatrice with like multiple materials, because they'll almost always run over the Underclock. And if they do, though, it gives you an open spot, so it's whatever. But yeah, that's the deck profile. Definitely going to add the Kaiju engine. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.